The next one is Mary Greeley.
This is our hospitalization.
That's where that
Well,
kid was.
that kid that shot the coach, he was discharged 24 hours.
What is going to happen? I mean,
I don't know. I had heard that before he was ever discharged, that they were supposed to contact the sheriff's
Yeah,
department,
that was in
and
the
they were
mail.
supposed to come pick him up, but they weren't notified there was a miscommunication or something. So, yeah. We had someone there twice, and we had good luck with them. They were very accommodating, so I'm hoping it was just a matter of miscommunication.
that's awful, though.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is. Yeah. And it sounds like he was...
This is really a high profile, this is definitely going to draw some attention to the procedure, the protocol. You know, they're going to want clear definition, more protocol.
Yeah, I'm not real sure how, I mean, I don't know what the circumstances were surrounding that placement, but I guess I'm real surprised that there wasn't someone there to pick him up.
well, and that was, and then, you know, you see multiple things in the news and in the newspaper that they had picked him up for damaging property, and then evidently did the admission after that, failed to contact law enforcement when they released him.
Yeah, that's really sad. These all, again, the rates that are on here look very similar when I look at like Plains area and things like that.
What's the change?
Well, I guess I don't have the difference for you, but the services are inpatient services, observation, intensive outpatient, transitional living, inpatient physician services, med management, and other outpatient is negotiated at the time of service. So, and med checks, they run from 65 to 79 with the different hospitals that we work with. Inpatient services, 120 per day. I've seen that a little lower, skosh higher other places. I can get figures for you, the difference from one year to the next if you want me to.
We're pretty, I mean, first finding the location of the bed is next to impossible, so they're not, I mean, it's pretty much a set rate.
Yeah, it is. Any more, you're lucky to find a bed. And then, of course, we always start with the ones we have contract with, and then go out from there, so. But this is St. Anthony's, wait a minute. No, Mary Greeley, sorry. And there's a couple places to sign. There's one on that sheet and then the one directly below it.
I'll make the motion to go with Mary Greeley.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the contract with Mary Greeley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. I'm concerned that they're now going to reduce or close another state facility.
I've heard rumblings about that.
Mount Pleasant, Independence, if I can either run or Cherokee.
They're not saying, but they're talking about closing one. There's not enough beds now.
There's plenty of room. There's, what's Cherokee have 100 patients, 80 to 100.
But they're full to what they're going to take. If they reduce more, then finally the emergency stuff is, it's difficult now, it'll be impossible.
one of the hardest things to do is
Just
to place someone that has a diagnosis of MR, because so many other places only have so many beds available for that diagnosis, and a lot of times when you start calling around, you clear the end of the list before you actually find someone that can take them. And it's a long list. I mean, I even got on, there's a resource on the internet called Iowa Compass, and I went through every single possibility. I bet I made 75 to 80 calls for someone one time, and I finally talked someone into taking the individual, but they were very resistant. They didn't have room, this, that, and the other.
They can't take any more, like for example, Cherokee, they can't take any more clients because they don't have the funding.
Yeah, they have X amount of beds, and when those beds are full, they just won't pay.
But you mean beds, you mean
Slots.
funded beds,
Yeah, slots.
Or, for
Because, I don't
example,
know,
they're only...
to the, John Q. Public, I go out there, one time they had a population of 1,000 or 1,200. Now they have 878 sex offenders. So, I mean, you look, they got all these buildings, they keep shingling and flooring. Jack, you're up here. I mean, I don't understand the system. And they've got psychiatrists, staff, bookkeepers, cooks.
I think their drive has been that they think that privates do it for less money. So
yeah.
I think that's why they're doing what they're doing. I wish they wouldn't, but that's what they're doing.
And there's a shortage of psychiatrists in the state of Iowa too. That's a huge issue.
It's the first time, since that was open, that they couldn't get superintendents to live in Cherokee.
Oh, really?
And when they're recruiting psychiatrists, either he or his wife didn't want to live in Cherokee, so he commutes from Sioux City. So I mean, that's an example of recruitment. You're right. It's hard to recruit psychiatrists to Iowa than it was, I suppose.
Well, I know a year or so ago.
That physicians it's like a physician's assistant program with psychiatry.
Nurse practitioner.
They're really working hard to try and fill that void in western Iowa. That's what they tell us.
Yeah, they're using a lot more of those, and then one psychiatrist is kind of overseeing a bunch of them. I know a year and a half ago or so, we heard a speaker who was a legislator, senator, and I can't recall his name. He's very young, over near the Webster City area. We went to a meeting over there, and he was talking about how they were, and maybe it's passed, I don't know, I haven't heard any more, but they were talking about working on a bill to compensate psychiatrists that were willing to either educate in Iowa and stay in Iowa, like forgive some of their student loans and stuff, but I don't know what ever happened with that.
We talked about that last mental health commission meeting, and they just opened the floor to discussion of ideas.
Oh, okay. So
and they talked about doing some kind of abatement on taxes, and I voiced the idea that I thought helping with education with that arrangement was much easier to do than to start talking to people about taxes. And so University of Iowa has done a little bit of it, but they need to do more.
Okay.
So
there is something still brewing out there.
yeah, and they do have a very small program that the University of Iowa has headed up, but they're now needing to look to expand it, or at least talk about different ideas. I think it became the consensus of the group that some kind of retainer, and including help with education, was a better option than some of the others.